Hi everyone, so today I have a wonderful guest in the studio. Her name is Cherise and she is a British soul singer. So just to give you some background as to how this came about, I went to one of her gigs last year and I was outside kind of waiting to go in and she walked past and she went, "Lisa Eldridge," and I was like, "Yes." And she said, "I'm wearing your lipstick. Your lipsticks are my favourites. I always wear them." And I was like, "Oh, wow." Anyway, after the gig, we got chatting and she was amazing. Her voice is incredible. She's just so beautiful. And I was so kind of like bowled over by her anyway. And I was so proud that she was wearing my lipstick and that she loves my makeup. So we kept in touch after that. And I said, "Oh, you must come into the studio and I'll do a look on you. Maybe there's a kind of look that you'd like to learn." So that's what we're going to do today. Cherise, I'm so happy that you're here. It's been ages. It's taken such a while, but
no, I'm so happy to be here.
Delighted. I've been dying to do your makeup. So I'm going to start with a little bit of skincare. So having a touch of mist. This is nice and moisturising and hydrating. And then we're going to put some moisturiser on because you said your skin's been feeling a little bit dry.
Yeah.
The weather, change in the weather.
I'm in heaven right now.
Oh, well, I'm so happy to finally have you here in my studio. I've been dying to do your makeup.
I'm so happy to have been invited. I grew up watching you. Learned how to spot conceal from YouTube.
Brilliant. Pinpoint concealing. Amazing.
Yes.
Well, I absolutely love your makeup style. So
thank you.
I was absolutely thrilled when you were wearing my lipstick that night.
What a fluke.
Yeah,
what an
that is
absolute
such a fluke. I know.
My Lord. Yeah, no. It was your pop-up. You had a pop-up in Covent Garden.
That's right, yes.
It was beautiful. Why spend too much time walking around the Selfridges Beauty Hall as well? And I see you in there.
Yeah, I know. It's luring, isn't it? Once you get in there, it's like, oh, what's this? So I've just put a layer of moisturiser all over. I'm using this one, which is the Ven, which is an all-in-one kind of almost primer and moisturiser. That will just feel nice and fresh. I'm going to do a little bit on your neck as well. I'm sorry. Probably felt a bit cold. Feels a bit cold, right?
Yeah.
So for the makeup look, we're thinking about... I love the way you do your makeup on stage.
Thank you so much.
Because it always looks really you, really authentic, really beautiful, quite natural. So when we discussed this earlier, you said something about keeping all that authenticity, but maybe something that is going to be a bit more stage resilient. Yeah. So a bit more impactful, but without being anything other than natural still.
Yeah, which is a really hard thing to balance. Sometimes I only have 5 minutes to myself before getting on stage.
5 minutes to do your makeup.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
That is quick.
But I'm wanting something that is able to stand up against bright lights, against me potentially dancing.
Yes. Looks good, looks cute.
Exactly.
Blah, blah, blah.
For an hour and then meeting people afterwards, so...
Yeah, that's a really good point, because when you come off stage and you're meeting people, you don't want to look like you kind of got this sort of face
and so that's why I just aim for something that I can repeat again and again. That's my skin to look fresh and natural, but maybe something on the eyes and some lips.
Lovely.
And just flirty. Eyes,
Okay.
A siren for the stage.
Love the siren look. Okay, with that in mind, I think I might start with one of my liquid Lurexes. These are good because you can actually... Well, I'll show you how quick it is. You can use fingers as well if you suddenly find you don't have brushes with you.
Yeah. Which is often me.
Exactly. So you just do like a few swipes of this kind of onto the lid and then just blend with fingers. I'll use a brush as well today, but I just want to show you how that's the kind of eye done and finished. Have a look at that. That's blended and applied.
Oh my gosh. And it looks so glamorous.
It looks glamorous, but it was how long? Like zero
0
time.
seconds.
And if we do something like that with a nice little siren-y liner, we can do a little sculpt with just a brown sort of matte eyeshadow as well, if we want to just add like a touch of intensity into the socket line. Exactly. This is from my kit, so it looks a right mess.
Beautiful.
Yeah, something like that I think could be really good for you. Because you're kind of bringing a little bit of like eveningness without being like covered in makeup. And it's really quick as well.
And some of the clubs I'm performing in, it's very muted lighting, even in the dressing rooms. So I'm having to kind of put a bit of guesswork into it while I'm using my fingers and everything. And sometimes I'm using the lavatories as my dressing room as well, trying to get in and out.
So there's no light in there either.
So
You'll have to get a little light up mirror.
Yeah, at the moment it's my phone torch.
Ah, okay, yeah.
But I think that's why I love my career, because I play anything from small clubs to big stages. Like I was at the Royal Albert last year with Lang Lang, and one of the best pianists I've ever worked with. But I also play I do cabarets at a place called Zadel's in London. And that's the best vibe. It's just backstage is a little bit tight.
Okay. Who were your kind of heroes then when you were growing up for music? What were you?
Good question.
Who was it for you?
Anita Baker.
Oh, really? Oh, she's incredible.
And she has this album cover for her album Rapture, where she's on the ground in this kind of black onesie, holding herself like that. And when I think of skin, the way that I would want my skin to look, I want to look like her. I also want to look like Toni Braxton.
Yes, incredible.
I love soul music at heart, and that's what I hope to create.
And when did you start singing?
I started singing when I was 4, and I've never wanted to do anything else. That's what my family tell me. When I was 16, I decided to look into being a jazz musician, because I thought all the best soul musicians study jazz first. Like Anita Baker said that she studied Sarah Vaughan.
Right.
Who's one of the best.
Yeah, no, she's amazing.
She's so good. Beautiful tone to her voice. So I ended up doing that. I moved from Luton to London.
So how old were you then?
I was 18, so I did my degree in jazz in Greenwich.
Just applying some bass, just doing a light layer of bass all over. And I know that you are 29.
Yes, in your foundation. I love the undertone. It's very neutral. And I was chatting to you about my skin tone and how it was a revolution for me to discover that I have a neutral undertone as a black woman, because for the longest time when getting advice on my shades, I was told, oh, well, you're either warm or red.
Yeah, either yellow or red, yeah.
It's only in recent years that I think more neutrality in the shades have become available.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. And I have olive undertones for deep skin tones and all different ones, because I think it's too... I mean, I hate all that either. You're either this or that.
There's as many options as possible, I suppose.
Exactly. You need more options.
Yeah.
And as makeup artists, we always mix. But it's nice to be able to create those colours that we usually mix as well. So if you're highlighting and you're concealing, you brought some of your favourite shades.
Indeed.
Talk me through how you normally like to do your makeup.
I feel like Patricia Bright. I love Patricia Bright. If she ever watches this.
Yeah, she's great. I love her.
This is Armand. I think that's how you
by
pronounce it.
NARS, which is a great one.
And I've used that all over the face. But in more recent years, right now, I use teak a bit more.
That's more neutral.
Yeah. And then under the eyes, I've used caramel.
Nice. And you got the pot as well.
Oh yeah, that's for more.
Which one do you like then? Do you like the matte version? That's good for stage, right?
That's a bit more for stage, yeah. And use it a little bit under the eyes,
daylight.
But this is for
daytime vibes. So let's start then with Armand, and we'll use this to just conceal.
Is it French? Am I meant to say Armand?
Yes, it is, or almond. It's I'm going to use this just where we need any little concealing and lifting. You don't really have a lot of pigmentation, though. You're quite lucky.
Oh, that's very kind. It's my skincare routine. I try and be quite on it.
You're very good in the sun and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I use the Bondi Sands sunscreen every day because it's very translucent on my skin. I don't get this purple tint.
That's a good tip. I haven't tried them.
They're really good. Definitely wear sunscreen and vitamin C. I think I would just wear one from the Ordinary as a vitamin C.
Great.
When I'm going to bed, I use the simple cleansing oil because it's just £3. It does the job.
Very good on your skincare.
Try to be. Then use retinol.
Is that just from watching YouTube, or is your mom like that, or you got sisters, or you just kind of picked it up yourself?
I say the skincare was me, but I think because I'm Jamaican, one thing that is underrated in Black beauty is how much we really take care of our just body care, like moisturizing every morning, taking that time to have contact with who you are.
Self-care.
Always that self-care. I always leave moisturized, always exfoliate in the shower in the morning with some sort of flannel or something. Just taking care of my body really well was something that my family taught me.
Any natural remedies or?
My grandma would slap Vaseline on my face.
Oh,
well,
really?
I mean, push, I'll say that.
Okay.
And I want to give her and her generation the credit due, because that was something that I saw as quite basic. And then, so I stopped doing it, but then the skincare industry fed it back as something quite revolutionary to do, and they had a new name for it, and I'm like, what do you mean putting Vaseline on your face and your lips? That's what me and my family have been doing forever. I think they called it slugging or something.
Oh yeah, that's right. So everything's got a new name now.
Everything's got a new name.
It's kind of hilarious, really.
Yeah.
So I've done a kind of basic skin. Have a look. So we've got a kind of first layer. We're not going to go any heavier than this, but what I am going to do and what I like to do is now add where we need it. So we're going to do under eyes. We're obviously going to do our pinpoint concealing. Of course, we have to do that.
I'm so excited to be pinpoint concealed. Seriously, because I learned that from you on YouTube ages ago. I'm going to get pinpoint concealed.
You're going to get pinpoint concealed, yeah.
Nice.
Before I do that, I'm going to try, I'm going to do a tiny little bit of sculpting, but not to look like sculpting, just to work with your natural contours.
Okay.
And this will be nice as well, obviously on stage, because you're going to have, you're going to be catching that spotlight. I'm going to try this one by Vive, which looks really nice. And actually I haven't tried it before, but it looks like it's going to really melt into your foundation. So
lovely jubbly.
I think what I'm going to do is, we've got a little bit of pinpoint concealing to do here. So we don't worry about that. We still do this first. I'm going to start really close to your ear.
Does anyone do the sucky lips anymore?
You can do. I think it's good for, it's good, I think, if you're not sure where to put it.
Honestly, every time I say
you go
anything,
too low otherwise. Like sometimes I see people and they're sort of coming in here. And I think the main thing you need to know about it is it needs to be higher than you probably think. So it's starting, if you think of that bone, like your cheekbone, you've got lovely cheekbones.
Thanks.
And where it sort of starts, and you're kind of tracing along there. And then you can always do a little bit of bronzer to blend everything in, which I think is the key as well, because if you're using something that is generally going to give you a shadow, it tends to be something that doesn't work well as a bronzer, because it's more about the natural shadow in the skin.
Yeah.
Which is that kind of a colour. So it's a little bit cooler as well. Whereas a bronzer is obviously warming your skin up. But it's nice to kind of blend with that. I'm going to show actually on this side. Probably it's easier to see. There we go. So we're starting really in line with the top of Cherise's ear. And do you know what? I just say go slowly.
Yeah.
If you start with so much, and people do all kinds of crazy things now with contour. I think as long as it's blended in, it doesn't matter whether you do it before your foundation, after your foundation. The main thing is it's blended and it looks like a natural shadow and it doesn't ever look like something that kind of doesn't belong on your face.
This is the moment of of truth when I'm backstage, because it's hard to, you're working with the lights available, right? To know how much of a shadow to create based on how much of a shadow is already there.
Yep.
So I tend to be quite tentative with it in case I go overboard. But
yeah, but I guess
slow is a good tip.
Slow is a good tip, yeah. Look at my darling. So I'm just going to add some under eye concealer and buff that in.
My relationship with my under eyes is always evolving as well, because I used to really get annoyed. I've had dark under eyes since I was a child.
They're really not that dark. Come on.
Let me finish my sob story.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, I've ruined you.
No, get back into.
I'll get my violin out.
I've had dark.
Just look up for me. Just blend that in there.
But they are so helpful to me at letting me know how I'm, like, whether I'm dehydrated, whether I'm not. I think right now they're okay, because I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling quite balanced in life and work and other stuff.
So they're like a barometer for your mental and physical health.
Exactly. And
that's quite handy.
It is very handy. And I look so much like my mum, I realise, when I look back at pictures of her when she was at my stage and age. And I know that when I looked at pictures of her, especially when I was younger and when I was around her, they weren't what I saw. I just saw her beauty, almost like ethereal. And my mum looks like her mum. So I just feel really blessed to have inherited their faces. I feel like I could have said that in a more graceful way.
No, that's lovely. Really lovely.
You know, when you see beauty in someone else and you're like, oh my God, I got a bit of that.
Whereas sometimes on yourself, you can focus on all the
little things,
perceived bad things that no one else has ever noticed, really.
I felt you say perceived, so I like that. Like perceived,
yes,
but not real.
Just did a little bit of pinpoint concealing.
This is the power of manifestation. I'm going to become one of those girls. Seriously, to be, sitting with my laptop being like, you saying, today I'm going to teach you how to pinpoint conceal in your very calm way. And to have you literally pinpointing my face. Why does that sound weird? Now I'm saying it like that. I've just never really, when it was the kind of like you stripe the makeup on into triangles and do all of that, for me wasn't working. So you really provided a different technique at a time when I needed it.
Oh, good.
Got me out of those teenage years of like almost looking like a mask.
Did you have a real moment there of...
Oh God, I think we all did.
Yeah.
There was a phase though that this is why the accessibility of more shades has been so revolutionary, because there was a time when all there was L'Oreal Max Mousse in deep and not as deep. Yeah. And that was it. So I used to cake that on.
No undertones going on.
And I hope that also, us doing this will provide someone who has a similar undertone as me.
Exactly.
Just, I don't,
you want to see yourself. You want to see yourself. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's so kind of you to have me here, especially like at the time of the album being out and putting that out independently, and it's just a very grassroots approach.
Which is what I love.
Yeah.
And what I love about you.
Oh, thank you. It's it's not the easiest, but it's building
share
a
you with my
strength.
audience. I want them to download your music and listen, and I'm sure they're going to love it. So next I'm going to do some liner. I'm going to start really, really close to your lash line, and then just from there wing out. I'm going to keep it quite delicate. Just open your eyes for me there. Nice. And a little touch more, a little longer there. Something like that, but open again. And look that way. Just going to get in the inner corner there. So I'm just going to go back in with a little tiny bit of black liner, just to soften. Let's see. And then from the front, just look that way. And then I am just going to do a little bit of black liner just under your upper
I can see in the
lash
mirror.
line. Liking it?
Yes.
Look down for me, darling. This is the worst feeling ever, but I'm quite quick, so I hope you don't mind. It's done. How was that?
Is that it?
Yeah.
I was preparing myself. Just saying,
It'll
this is
make
the
it-
worst feeling
I know.
ever.
That's what I say. I try and distract, usually.
it's
Put your head
fine.
back and sniff. That'll take any wateriness away. Perfect.
You know when the opticians say, okay, you're going to get a puff of air?
Oh my God, I hate
They
that.
take forever to do it as well.
Forever.
Goodness
And you're
sakes,
just
get
so
on with it.
stressed. And
Yes!
you're waiting and waiting and waiting. I cannot bear that.
Yeah.
I know. They should say you're going to get a puff of air and it'd be done. And then they're like, okay, great. But they take forever, you're right.
Yep.
Just going to do a little bit of a curl of your lashes. Look down for me. Put your eye on something. Hold your eye on that thing. Keep your eye on that thing. Keep your eye on that thing. That's it.
I'm in an earlier stage in my career, released my album myself, so...
It's so nice that you're doing all that yourself.
Oh, thanks.
But it's hard, I know. You know?
Well, I think there's the reality of the gig economy where you get the good, well, they're all good, but you get the big exposure, you get the small things, and like Downton Abbey was amazing. I did the last movie.
Did you? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's no, I did not know about you. So what did you do?
I played funny enough, I played the jazz singer.
Ah.
And I'm not hard to find with in
Is this the movie?
Yeah, in the movie.
Do you know what? I haven't seen the movie. I used to love the TV show. And for some reason, I keep meaning to watch it.
Yeah.
Maybe when it came out, I was just, one of those things that you just, so I haven't seen it, but now I want to watch it.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. There's the balance of doing Downton and then doing a side hustle job and then doing the Royal Albert Hall and then doing a small jazz club. And that's the variety and honesty of working in a gig economy as a creative that I don't think is talked about enough. The reality of it. And it's not bad. It's just... it's real, you know.
Every day is a kind of different challenge
adaptability,
or a different...
exactly.
Yeah, you need to be adaptable and not be able to go with the flow. Yeah, and not stress too much about everything.
And for me, I do feel the flow going up. You know, it's that instead of.
But I used to say that about my career when I started out. I used to say it was 2 steps forward and one step back.
Yeah,
always, always.
Yeah.
And there's always someone that's doing better than you, or that you think, and you can get bogged down in all that. But you've just got to keep your eyes forward and just keep doing your thing. Stay authentic to yourself. And, you know...
I want to hug you, but I'm just here.
Like ruin your makeup.
It means a lot.
So I'm going to drop on a little lash. This guy is one of my Japanese favourites. I just love them because they're really soft and quite... You don't really feel that you've got them on in the way that you do sometimes with fake lashes. It's a really thin band and the shape is kind of like natural lashes, but just a little bit more. And I think you'll appreciate that you won't really feel these. Just open slightly, let's have a look. See, it just gives you that little je ne sais quoi. I'm going to do a nice feathery brow, which I know you do a lot. This pen I really like, which is the Kevin O'Quan one. Make good colours and they're really, really fine. So you can't go too far wrong. It doesn't pay off too much. You know, sometimes certain ones I've had in the past and you like do one stripe and it's so it's too much of a commitment. I want to build up slowly.
I'm gonna have to splurge after this because they're a little bit spenny, but it's worth it, isn't it?
Yeah, and they last for ages and ages. I'm gonna keep your brows quite natural because they're already a nice shape.
It's like I was saying to you before, like every face has a bit of a wonk.
Yes.
And mine, like it's like that sisters, your brows are what they're sisters and not twins and stuff. And I'm like, but if I stare at my face too long, I'm like, oh, it has a bit of a wonk. Like I think this one's higher than that one, but I'm like, it's just character.
It's just character, exactly.
It's fine.
Whenever you see those faces when they take 2 photographs like in a half and make them match each side.
On TikTok.
And it looks so weird because
different faces.
Perfect symmetry is not good.
I like that. I know the method. You feather in first.
Yeah.
And then is it so that you can see what's natural?
Yeah, see what's natural, fill in. I tend to brush them, sometimes even backwards, because then you can kind of see what's underneath.
Yeah.
Like where there's little gaps from underneath as well. So you kind of hold up the brow and then do a few more strokes underneath and fill in that way.
I'm going to try that. Because throughout the day, sometimes my gel wears off and the hair relaxes, but then I've feathered in with the gel in, so it seems out of sync.
Okay, yes.
But doing it this way,
do it first.
no matter what,
So, for your lips, I know you love blush, which we're going to use, velvet blush. So for cheeks, I'm going to use Enchantment with a bit of Je ne sais quoi, which is actually called that, and mix those together. So we're going to have a kind of nice cream flush before we do any powder bronzers, before we finish off our concealing. I'm just going to take a couple of these shades and also mix in a little bit of highlighter as well. So we get a nice highlightery blush. And then we're just going to start to add our colour. So just really fresh. Nice and natural. This side. I always add a bit more, but I always like to start kind of with a good amount and then add more as we go along. But I love this colour. Because
I've noticed, like, when dating, you do blush. When like... And I've seen other people blush if I say something, and I'm like, it's the most endearing, beautiful, natural thing.
It's so lovely.
You just want to, want
to emulate that natural kind of blushing from within.
Exactly.
A little bit on the nose is always cute. Little flush. So let's just do a little bronzing here. So I'm just going to start your lips with a touch of lip liner. I'm going to use this just to shape and sculpt as well. Take a really old fluffy brush and just soften all that and buff it. So you get some nice shadow rather than lines anywhere. So I'm just using the shade Decade, which is a little bit deeper than blush that you love, and using this to really blend in that shading and the line as well.
I don't know if she'll ever see this video, but I wanted to take a moment to thank Jackie Ina.
Oh yeah, I know Jackie.
You know Jackie Ina?
I've met her. She's so lovely.
Well, she did a video, I think a couple years back, about two-toned lips. And honestly, I had never felt so validated and seen, because I didn't... Oh, stop. Can't stay calm. I feel myself welling up. But I always thought it was a problem up until that. But she really addressed the fact that it's just, black women, it's just, we're built different, and it's a beautiful thing, and your lips are beautiful.
It is. So, you do have beautiful lips. So Jackie I'm glad she did that.
She's lovely.
Yeah, I met her quite a few years ago. We went to an event together.
Oh, wow.
And she's so lovely. Right, we're just blending in a bit of blush. Give me a smile. So just a touch of powder, not as much as usual. I know you have to probably do quite a bit of powder.
Oh, I sweat on stage and the mist and everything. Oh, here we go, the mist.
Here we go, here's some mist. This is a little bit of setting spray, but also bring the hydration back, into the makeup. It won't disturb the makeup, but it will help it to look glowy, which again, I think is very you. You're that, although you've got to be well made up on stage, you want to feel like you've
natural,
got skin.
Yes.
Have a quick look at the... Look. Yeah, do you like it?
I absolutely love it.
A bit more of that. I love that blush on you, the colour.
Oh, gosh. No, thank you so much.
Looks
my
beautiful.
10 to 15 minute version of this. At least I'll be able to watch a video of me.
No. You will. It's going to be, honestly, we've
this.
taken so long today because we've been chatting.
Yeah.
But I just want to say thank you. I know it's a busy time for you with the album coming out, which congratulations. You must tell the people at home what your album's called. Please.
My album is called Calling, and it's just me, really. Soul. It's dedicated to my grandparents. It's dedicated to my Jamaican heritage. Just me finding who I am.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
So lovely to see you.